Welcome, brought to you by Zydex Custom PCs and NFL Shop. This is me, MrKnew, and I am here to talk about. We're going to talk about draft profiles, prospects. Things haven't come out yet. This is kind of one of the jobs I do. I don't work for PFF at the moment. I do have an application. I got too much other work, so I know I can't divide my full attention and time to a company in which I want to work for one day. You know what I mean? I want to be a part of a crew. You know what I mean? Like, you know how Pat Mack has him and the boys. You know, I want the whole crew. You know, and that's what makes that show so great, in my opinion. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on a little bit. Here we go. Couple things here for the Minnesota Vikings. JJ McCarthy, right? JJ McCarthy, big topic. Everybody's always talking about him. Why? Why are we talking about JJ so much? Is JJ going to be the starter? Probably not. Is JJ going to come have some miraculous comeback story? John Elway style? Probably not. Tom Brady, probably not. So why do we talk about him so much? Coming into this season feels just like coming into the season before, 24 season. Nobody cared about Sam. Sam sucks. I've seen it all. The ghost, the this, the that. Prepare for disappointment. Everything. And everybody all year literally was just waiting for McCarthy next year. If we wouldn't have had that attitude as Minnesota Vikings fans, we would not have pushed the organization to be so risque, if you will. They would have at least brought in Aaron Rodgers. To say that they were fully confident, blah, 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 that's a lie. They're covering for somebody. With all the restructurings and how everything's different, I believe they're covering for Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. When you look at the numbers and you look at the things, it makes a lot of sense why Kwesi would want McCarthy, jersey sales, things like that. He does have an electric personality. But this is the thing with J.J. McCarthy and Kevin O'Connell. It's like mixing oil and water here, okay? Kevin got him under the pretense that he was going to be like a solid, good, calm, grounded, cool under pressure, can handle anything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Tom, Jets, everybody has an alter ego type attitude that comes out. You know what I mean? But does it lead to a Kubrick stare towards your coach as he's giving you a game ball? You know, there's a time to turn it on, and there's a time to know when to turn it off. And with everything that's happened with J.J. McCarthy, he doesn't have the ability to turn it off right now. He's working under just pure rage mode. And as he works under that pure rage mode like that, it's just not going to hell. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of it. Did it actually pull stuff up when I did that? Did my Nightbot actually pull stuff up? What's that crown? I don't know what that is. I thought the Nightbot was actually pulling up stuff. But anyway, let's get back to it. Let's talk about some of this stuff. Is that crown still there? What is that? What is that? Can I remove the message? Can it remove that? What is this crown? It's part of this chat thing that's up here. Like, I just don't think that this is super necessary. Yeah, that's stuff from last one. I just think we're gonna get rid of the chat box here. All right. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's dive into it as we are on YouTube, crunched amount of time, and we want to get everything kind of going. Okay, so today I want to highlight safeties as well as running back or a plan for the Minnesota Vikings. I know everybody is on the J.J. McCarthy can make it train. Dude, don't blow this for the Vikings. Don't drag us through. I did this when we were younger. Christian Ponder's first year, identical stats to J.J. McCarthy. Had a better year the next year. You know what I mean? So everybody's like, well, he could be. It could be something there. And that drug on for 4 years, dude. Everybody knows J.J. McCarthy isn't going to probably be a starter in the NFL. I thought with this mentality, he could work his way up. And maybe on another team he can. But right now, all he is anger. How can you teach a guy, how can you coach a guy that won't be coached? When you tell him, don't gritty into the end zone, and he does it anyway. And then he goes on the podium and says, yeah, I'll probably get a licking for that one. Like there's some good buddy-buddy relationship. You've been here for 2 years, going on your 3rd year, and everybody gives you the break of saying he's only been here 1 year, he's 21, he's not going to be nothing. Yeah, that was what I seen in the very, 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 very first thing when we got him, thinking he was going to sit behind Sam Darnold for 3 years. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then people want to sit out here and dog on Kevin O'Connell. The guy that's given you winning season after winning season after winning season. You don't have a playoff win. How is he supposed to do that when you don't give him a fucking quarterback? Pardon my French. You want to give him JJ and you want to force it. What if he doesn't want to coach JJ? Did you know he's got a relationship with Kyler Murray that goes all the way back to the Elite 11? Did you know that he thinks he's one of the top quarterbacks? Did you know that during last year's offseason, he was seeking out to try to get Kyler Murray maybe in a trade? Did you know that that's who Kevin O'Connell wants? Okay? And did you know that the 2027 draft is stacked with quarterback talent? J.J. McCarthy in this draft, where there is no quarterbacks, right here, Fernando, Ty Simpson, Garrett Nussmeier, J.J. McCarthy would be right up here with Mendoza in the top 10, like he was. Whereas he should have been somewhere like Ty Simpson back there. But I digress on all that. Quarterback position means a lot. It's worth a lot. J.J. McCarthy did show flashes. But the thing is, for him, it's going to take 3 years. By then, Jefferson's career is cooked. Addison's already kind of moving on. Hawkinson's gone. Team is a different, complete team. Right now, the best thing the Vikings can do is cut their losses with everything with JJ and try to get as much capital as possible by saying, it's a competition. McCarthy's that good that he's going to make it a competition for this #1 overall pick and everything like that. So that way everybody, still knows, oh, this guy is a #1 pick. I didn't know I called. Anyway, so basically, my phone didn't ring. Hope you didn't miss your appointment. What I'm saying is that J.J. McCarthy is right in between here. The #1, number 42, right? He's right in between there. So that's a high-level pick. That's like a second-round pick, dude. Or that's like negotiating with your first-round pick, right? So that we can get Jeremiah Love. This dude's the man. He's the man. Last year, 91.1. This year, 93.1. Consecutive 1,000-plus yard seasons. Consecutive 6.9 yards per average. Consecutive 17, 18 touchdowns. Able to receive the ball 27 out of 34, 28 out of 32. with good receiving amount of yards, 280 and 229. You don't get much better than this. You really don't. And he played some really hard teams, some hard defenses, Purdue, Pitt, U. Uh, like, this dude was battle tested all year. I really, really like Jeremiah Love. And I think the Vikings can get him. Same thing with this fullback. This fullback right here. Where is he? What the heck? There he is. Eli Heidenreich. Okay, this dude can run as our slot. He's 6 foot, 206 pounds, and look at his ratings as fullback, just great. But he can play out of the slot, ladies and gentlemen. Like, he and the Vikings have a good chance to get him. We're in the trends, which is really, really good. 6 foot, 206 pounds, perfect stature down there. Attempts, all that. He doesn't have a lot of attempts at that, but like, I wish they would show us receptions. 51 and 79 targets. That's a lot, meaning you can move him out to a receiving position. This is a dynamic playmaker. We're 2-1. We're losing our fullback. I think that this is an absolute grab. 196 ranks, means you can grab him pretty late, and I think that is another great one. Now for the big one. Why are we all here? We are all here to talk about, well, I mean, obviously we need centers. I just wanted to just kind of go over this really, really quick. So there's Connor Lew, Sam Eck, Jake Slaughter, Logan Jones, Burger Coogan. A lot of people want Jake Slaughter here, which I could see. Great, great, great. You know what I mean? Good run, pass block grade, perfect set. You know what I mean? Nice set, everything pretty good. Gap grade, pretty solid guy, as well as a large man. You know what I mean? So I really do like that. But maybe that largest might get in the way of that extra inch, because we do have a shorter quarterback. Logan Jones. Take a look at this little gem. Because look at this. 79.3, 82, 77, 79, 83.6. That makes up for the 0.3 there. And then 65 obviously had a better rookie year. But, like, check this dude out. Logan Jones, man. They make him tough in Iowa. You know what I'm saying? 6'3", 302 pounds. I feel like his grades, especially his pass block grade and his set block grade and his true block grade, are better. You know, maybe he played a weaker amount of teams. I don't know, something like that. I don't know why they got him so far behind. But he only allowed 1 sack and 2 hurries. Whereas Jake Slaughter, you know what I mean? Very similar. But when you look at the year before, you know what I mean? A little more hurries. So who could be the more man of consistency? I don't know. But as long as we get either of these two, I'm pretty happy. I don't know about Sam Hector or Connor Lew. They're higher, but like, some of this stuff is kind of strange. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure where. I think it's because there was no sacks allowed, where they're getting this extra little bit. No, there's 2 sacks here and 2 hurries, 20. Strength of competition, I don't know. And played bad against Aggies here. So there's some deals there. So I like these two a lot, especially Logan Jones. I think that's a budget deal, but Jake Slaughter could be great. And last but not least, I want to go through the safeties, because a lot of people want to pick a safety in the first round, and I think we can move back. I think we can move back and still get quality, okay? Caleb Downs, he's going to be gone right away. We're not going to have a shot at him. Dylan Thieneman, or Thieneman, however you say it, you can make a case that he could fall to the Vikings at 18. And for only being 21, he's played phenomenal. He really has. You know what I mean? But the thing that concerns me the most is kind of this right here. Well, I mean, dude's got a ton of tackles, so he's not, like, afraid to tackle. So I really like that. But why is the run defense grade so low? Is it just because he had so many tackles, or what? Like, 85 tackles there. Wow. 16 missed. He's getting better on his missed tackles. Working the deep box. And this is where I'm also looking. Who's working in the box and then working deep? As we know, Harrison Smith likes to kind of go back. And then also somebody, that can maybe work the slot too. You know what I mean? Kind of cover some of them faster guys. And that's where Dylan Thieman's speed really comes into play. Now we start getting into some of the older players, where I think they're more developed and they're a better fit. McNew Warren is the cream of the crop, man. If you want to get a guy, run defense grade, coverage grade, everything's high, great competition, all of it. One thing I did notice though, you know what I mean? Had him up in the box like twice, 100 more this year than any other year, right? So he had all that time in the box, but what I noticed about that is, even having all that time in the box, his tackles went down. You know what I mean? Like, was he not able to, like, get over laterally and get the tackles as much? Or plays passes where he was inside? He's only got 6 pass rushing snaps, which is another thing, too, I want to highlight. You know what I mean? And the same thing for Dylan Thieneman. Dylan Thieneman only has 5. Now, I want to show you the guy I like. We have to go down, 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 down. And we could trade all... We could be all the way back and get this guy. Zakee Wheatley. I mean, this name sounds like a name already that you would hear. Zakee Wheatley with the tackle for a loss. Like, I could just see it. Wow, he's a young up-and-coming star. Zakee Wheatley. He just has one of those names. I don't know. But an 85.9 grade this year, 78.5 last year. I mean, it balances out the same thing that some of the other guys were doing above. But check this out. You know what I mean? He's got an 83.5 coverage grade and an 82.7 run defense grade. He is almost equally as good as he is the coverage against the run. And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at his pass rushing snaps. He rushed the quarterback 17 times this year, meaning he was putting pressure on him. Maybe didn't get all the sacks in the world and everything, and leave that to the D lineman and everything, but putting pressure, chasing him out of the pocket, disrupting the play, all of that stuff. I really like that, especially when you're in the box. And this is another thing I noticed. He's in the box 253 times, deep 316 times. That is a lot more equal. I see Harrison Smith into the box. He comes up into the box quite a bit, but I believe he is back in coverage just a titch more. I'm not sure. I would have to try to look at Harrison Smith's numbers. I could be wrong. And also shows in the past he was able to cover the slot position. So he has experience all over, and that's where I'm guessing this little bit of a 78 came in. He's probably not as fast. But man, oh man, I don't want this guy to go to the Bears. I think this should be the guy for the Vikings. We trade back, and when we look at it, he's 24, 6'2", 202 pounds. I just think that this guy is underrated. Look at that, 85, 32nd out of 936 safeties, whereas like Smith, 95th. And I know PFF don't mean anything. 237th, 27th, AJ Ozzie, second for McNew Warren. He is the second best grade out of them. And then 6th for Dylan Thieneman, and then 18th for Caleb Downs. But you know what I mean? 32 is pretty up there. And so I just wanted to highlight Zakee Wheatley and just let you guys know, I think that this could be a guy that could be a game wrecker, a game changer, and a perfect fit for what the Vikings are looking for. I watched a little bit of film as well. He's able to right away. He's able to get up right in that gap. He's not afraid to take the angle and take out the running back, even though if it's in harm's way, where there are a bunch of linebackers right in the middle of the stack. He doesn't care. He'll chase you down. He'll get you, and makes great angles, makes great decisions, and I just feel Zakee Wheatley is a diamond in the rough in this draft. I don't know how he is ranked so far down, but this guy is every bit as good as I believe he will. Like, you know what I mean? I think he's gonna show people that he should have been picked a little bit sooner. You know what I mean? And then lastly, let's go through running backs, because I know a lot of you guys haven't gotten to see a lot of the running backs or a lot of the things. that I feel or whatever with it. You know, I already told you about the fullback. I wish we could trade up for Jeremiah Love, as he is the one true blue, like the real deal, man. Then we have to kind of take a step down. I don't really want Jadarian Price. I hear he can do pass pro and everything like that. I feel like that would be just like adding another Jordan Mason to the team. Jordan Mason actually was in the top 40 of running backs last year, whereas Aaron Jones, I think it was 70 or something like that. We need to get somebody for Aaron Jones. And I don't believe Mike Washington Jr. is that guy either. I even think Mike Washington leapfrogs Jadarian Price with that speed that he had. But Jonah Coleman, 5'9", 228, 22 years young. Look at this. Look at how consistent he's been. 91, 86, 82. I get it's been going down, but listen to this. I got to see him in a little interview and some things earlier, and he stated low key, he wasn't mad or nothing, or whatever. He's kind of bothered by it, but I guess this year he didn't get as many chances. I guess they went running back by committee type deal, whereas the years before he was like the main man. And so, and look at the receiving yards, 346. You know, that's like one of the most out of all the running backs. I think he is highly underrated. I think people are sleeping on him. He's hungry, and he wants to play. Let's just put it that way. I like him. Seth McGowan, not as much of a fan. Kind of reminds me of Tony Pollard. Not gonna really get into that right now. I gotta do some more film studying him. I don't want to be wrong. Emmett Johnson, absolutely love Emmett Johnson. I get he ran a 4.5, whatever. He's slow, but if you could chunk out 8 to 10 to 12, 15 yards with your jump cuts and everything every time, what does it matter? You wear them down just by constantly churning down the field. You know what I mean? And if you want the breakaway speed, then risk it all for Jeremiah Love. But if you can't, this right here is the poor man's Jeremiah Love. Catch the ball out of the backfield, do it all. 370 yards right there. Look at that. 54 targets, 46 receptions, catching at a high rate. And his yards, like this, 1,450. Take note, that's the most yards of anyone. You know what I'm saying? So this dude can run the block. This is one I don't understand. So Nicholas Singleton is up here, right? 146, great. I watched some Singleton tape, absolutely love it. Cool stuff. You know what I mean? But why, oh why, is Nicholas Singleton so much higher than his teammate Katron Allen? I think Katron Allen is better. I think Katron Allen, he's 23. He's been around a little longer. He's been so consistent. 1,000, almost had 1,000 there. He's multiple 1,000-yard seasons. What's with the disrespect here? What's with the disrespect completely to Penn State people? Is it because of a schedule thing? Is it because they don't think Penn State gives out the best of the best or whatever? Wasn't it Saquon or someone like that from Penn? I don't know. I just think that I think that these numbers stand out to me, all of it. I really wish we can get some more measurables and metrics on these guys. You know, we don't have that yet. We don't have all the speeds, all the pro days, all the hand sizes, all the this and that, and everything like that. So it is a little bit tougher to give you draft profiles, and that's why I'm kind of diving in, you know, to kind of tell you. And then there's one more that got that I really liked. That's way down here. Adam Randall. Look at this guy. 6'2", 235. Now, I really like, he got, 809 yards, and he was also able to get 250 receiving yards for such a big guy. And look at his grades, 83.3, 81 in zone grade, gap grade a little lower, not really elusive, obviously he's a bigger guy, but, and a few drops. But I feel like he's learning. He's, and the Vikings, I guess, up there, huh? Good. I'm glad Vikings fans seeing this. 6'2", 235. I just really think that is a talent waiting to be definitely tapped into. As you can see, he's kind of went up and down here. And then here's the analyst. What I was saying, we don't have these now. Here's the guy. Like I said, I want to eventually be part of the guys behind the scenes writing these, but I don't have no time to do that now, as we basically work on what we work on. And like I said, if you guys want, you can check out my stuff at NFL Shop. and any jerseys or anything that you buy using my link, which is on the top of my name. Um, I'll try to get that all set up on the. I haven't gotten it set up on like YouTube or Twitch or anything like that. I got it set up on my X account and everything like that, where it's easy. Oops, where it's easy to pick and everything. But yeah, and this is why I don't really know about Jadarian Price. You know what I mean? 674, 774, 279. I don't know. Like there's just not a lot there. There's not a lot there. You know what I mean? I just don't think he's the second greatest in the draft. I just don't think that's. I don't know. Maybe I guess, but I feel like him even being older than Jeremiah Love, we would have saw something. There's a reason he's behind, and like I know Mike Washington had that super fast combine run, but I just don't think that is gonna completely equate in the NFL, but it could. It could. It depends on where he lands, what coaching and everything. So, he's an interesting one out of all of them. I think he's very interesting. But yeah, I like Jonah Coleman, Emmett Johnson, Keytron Allen, and Adam Randall, outside of course, Jeremiah Love. Anyway, with that skull, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and rock on and everything. Let's see if we can get this.